Hello, this is Slay35, and I haven't done a video since a month or two ago. I think the Ghostbusters trailer thing was sometime back in April or March. I think it's been like a month or two. I'll leave details of why I've been active for so long at a later date in like the comments after this has been posted, and maybe I'll add that like later today. I'll put an explanation maybe in the comments, abridged one of what's been holding me back. Well, I'm going to resume the Godzilla movies. I'm going to try to have all of them done by the end of this year. The only two I'm debating on that I may not review this year, depending on things that happen elsewhere in the world during the remainder of the year, are Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster and versus Biollante. And if you've seen those movies and you know what the main plot of Biollante is, and if you know one of the main plot of Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster is, because the whole Ghidorah thing is kind of like the secondary plot of thing. If you've seen those movies and you paid attention to the stuff that's gone on recently, then you know why I can't review those two at the time and why I need to wait a while. Well, I'm going to start with the original American dub with Raymond Burr one. I have the DVD that's the American and the Japanese, and the Japanese one is a lot longer. But I prefer the American dub because, in my opinion, and I think this way about the American dub of 85 as well, the Japanese endings, in my opinion, are not as emotionally strong as the American one because of certain things that were admitted. It was I can't go into without spoiling both those films. So anyway, it starts with Raymond, but it starts to be in the movie. There's a disaster at sea. This ship sinks. The people on it die. Raymond Burr from Perry Mason is going to visit Dr. Serizawa. He's questioned by like the authorities after it goes on. They explain the situation about the ships that have gone disappearing. They send out more ships. They disappear. The sea's in panic. They end up on this island that these natives live on, and they afraid that this creature from their legends called Godzilla is responsible for all this. They're on the island. They run into Godzilla after the village gets destroyed, and then they leave the island, go to Tokyo. Meanwhile, there's this whole love triangle where there's this girl, Emiko, is supposed to get married to Dr. Serizawa, but she's in love with this other guy named Ogata, if I remember correctly, and it's the whole love triangle while the whole military is trying to deal with Godzilla on the side, and all the chaos and crazy stuff that happens. I thought it was a very good movie. I think it's one of the better Godzilla movies. I suggest you check it out. Check it out. I give it a 10 out of 10. I say check it out. Buy the DVD that has both of them on there if you're curious about the Japanese. Most of them you should only have to get the DVDs to have with 4 exceptions. There's only 3 or 4 of them that you have to keep the VHS tapes for if you want the full American dub releases, and the 3 that you have to keep the VHS tapes for if you want to have the full American dub are Godzilla 1985, versus Megalon and versus Biollante, and then the one that you may or may not have to keep the VHS of, depending on how nitpicky you are, is versus Hedorah, because in the DVD dub of Hedorah, the only thing that's not in English on the DVD cut that they left in Japan is the song "Save the Earth." So if hearing it in Japan, so if you don't mind hearing it only in Japanese, then the Hedorah VHS tape is probably a waste of time unless your DVD breaks. So if you don't care about the song not being English, then it shouldn't be an issue as long as your DVD breaks. But those other three, Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla 1985, and Biollante, you have to hate the VHS tapes if you want to have the if you want to have the complete English dub of them. This is Slate 35. You people have a nice afternoon.